What's going on, guys? Welcome back to another F1 24 League racing video. Today we are in CCRL racing at Portugal. Heading into quali here, a little low on battery. A lot of that comes from just that main straight. It's very easy to dump most of your ERS down that main straight. But as you can see, just because of track evolution and due to it being the end of quali, we still are able to be making up some time as the track is a little bit more grippy towards the end of quali. Here we begin to lose a little bit of time going into the corner. We're really just trying to focus on exit speed, not entry speed. That gives us a little bit more power throughout the corner and allows us to gain a little bit more time throughout quali. You'll see another example of that here, but then the car gets a little unstable. Took a little bit of that curb, so we lose a little bit of time there. Still able to make up some time coming into the last corner. Heading into this final straight, just taking a peek at my battery, I am a little worried it is quite low, knowing how much that you do dump into this last straight. But we're going to dump it pretty much all coming into it and see what it brings across the line. Come across the line in P4, 4/10 off the lead there. I believe we ended up in P5. I think we got out-qualified by another car there. Getting into the strategy, we are going to start on the mediums here and see how long they can last. Game wanted soft to mediums. I'm not sure why they think the softs can last that long. But it's lights out and away we go. Not the greatest start off the line. I've been really struggling with the race starts recently. As you can see, we're going to almost take out this Mercedes here due to heading into that corner a little bit too deep. Trying to fight off these two cars that are eventually going to overtake us. We do end up making one of those positions back, and eventually I think, yep, you can see in the rearview mirror, he does spin it a little bit, saves it from the wall, but does lose a couple positions, and now we're just going to settle into our own race here. Heading on over to lap 2, we are going to try to overtake this Red Bull with the use of the DRS around the outside. To avoid contact here, we do go a little bit wide off the track here, which does not allow me to get on the power. Therefore, two cars are then able to overtake us heading into the next corner. Almost lose it there a little bit. Just the curbs in this game, especially at Portugal, can unsettle the car so quickly. Heading over to lap 5, we're still in this battle with the McLaren and the Red Bull from lap 1. Trying to just kind of set up and overtake, run our own race. We do take this curve a little bit, almost lose it, and I think the McLaren behind us, as you can see, spins it, but I think he was taking the same line as I was, and just naturally that curb wants to spin the car around. Next lap, lap 6, we're going to watch the Red Bull and the McLaren kind of go at a fight here. We're going to keep our distance behind and just make sure that we keep our nose clean here. And just wait our time to make the overtake and make it cleanly, most importantly. We're going to open up the DRS down this straight here and see if we can't make another move on this Red Bull. The Red Bull is going to try to make a move on the McLaren as well.
What are we doing?
Who does make some contact with me, as you can hear me ask kind of what we are doing there. I think the Red Bull just did not know that I was there. I'm kind of unsure about that one. So we're still going to be battling this Red Bull. It's still making contact, rubbing wheel to wheel. The old saying goes, if you're not rubbing, you're not racing. So later that lap, heading down the main straight here, we've got the Williams attacking behind us. I'm attacking the Red Bull. Both cars are going to make this overtake pretty easy with the DRS and a little bit of battery. Kind of going to just let the Williams settle in front of us. We know that we will get the DRS down the next straight. We see the Williams is also blinking, which means he's also low on battery. I'm not doing the greatest, but it is probably enough to get this overtake done. So we are going to try to lunge up the inside here. Lay down the brakes. Still trying to make the corner, give the space, and we pull the move off. From here, the only thought is now is just try to build enough gap to get the Williams out of the DRS. Unfortunately, I don't have enough battery, I think, to do that quite yet. From a few laps later, we do end up pulling away. I think the Williams ended up making a mistake. which gave us that time advantage, and we do begin to start gaining on this McLaren. You can see the McLaren heads off the track, so we easily make up a position there. Move up to into P6 and continue to try to hunt down this Mercedes and the Haas. Not even a lap later, heading into this corner. This corner is so touchy. The Mercedes does spin it in front of us. Heading up that hill, it is such a low traction corner. It is so easy to spin out there. Lap 13 now. We're going to start making up some places. We're going to see that the soft runners are starting to head in, which is good information for us to know, knowing that the softs can last 13, maybe 14 laps before they really start to fall off a cliff. Lap 23 now. We are running into some backmarker traffic now. We are on the same set of mediums that we started the race with. You can see the front wear, not the rear wear. I got to work on that. Apologies. But we're kind of at that point where the mediums are going to fall off a cliff. Not really sure why this driver is not adhering to the blue flags, but we are going to make up that position. The main car that we are worrying about at the moment is LB the GOAT in the Red Bull. You can see he is gaining on us significantly. I believe he was a soft runner and just put these mediums on, so these are fresh mediums compared to my 23 going on 24 lap old mediums. So his tire grip is going to be significantly better, but we are going to head into the box here, and we are going to put on a fresh set of softs. Thankfully, we were able to extend the medium stint a little bit longer, which kind of made it more comfortable for us to put on a fresh set of softs, knowing that there's only 10 laps of racing left. Knowing that the tires will last, they'll be probably pretty solid through the rest of the race. They shouldn't really fall off a cliff. So it looks like we are going to come out in P7 here with a pretty big gap to that Mercedes behind us. So we're just going to try to put as many quality laps as we can down, and as you can see here, just a few laps later, we are already catching that Williams. And we already are within that 1 second for the DRS. But as you can see, coming into this corner, just the mechanical grip of the soft versus the medium, and again, his mediums are going to be older. My softs are still a little bit fresh. So we are gaining a lot of time on the Williams here, and so we're going to kind of just make sure the Williams stays in front of us to allow us to have the DRS down that main straight and just make a simple and easy overtake heading into turn 1. As you can see here, I almost lay off the throttle a little bit just to ensure, especially in this corner as well, just to ensure that I do get the DRS down this main straight. Yes, it might sacrifice us some time to P5, but again, we are just more worried about making a simple, clean overtake into turn 1. Which we do just that. Now essentially with 5 laps left, it's just push as hard as we can, see if we can't put 5 quality laps down and chase down that Haas in front of us. Heading into the final lap of the race, we are within the 1 second of the Haas, so we are going to have the DRS. The Haas also does have a 3-second penalty, so we also just kind of need to keep in the back of our mind that he does have that penalty and not to push too hard and not to get tangled up with him, because no matter what, we have that position essentially once he crosses the line. As you can see here, he is already blinking though. I do get a big snap and a big moment there. We are going to turn on the ERS along with the DRS just to make up some time again after that big moment. But we are able to, with just the grip again of the softs versus the medium, make a move up the inside and take over that P5 position on track for the time being, as I get another big snap of oversteer. These softs are really starting to struggle this last lap. I'm also trying to push just a little bit too hard. With that, now we just have to make sure we keep in within 3 seconds of the Haas. As you can see, we are at almost 2.5 seconds, but thankfully, again, softs versus mediums, I'm able to make up some time just in mechanical grip and having more grip into the corner. Still really struggling with the car, but we are going to maintain that 3 seconds as we bring it across the line, which means we will maintain that P5 position for the finish of the race. Pretty good race overall, pretty happy, but at the end of the day, I appreciate you guys watching. If you guys could, like, comment, share, subscribe as always, and we'll see you guys for the next video.